Hey Cancers, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to your general reading. This is going to be for May, but these are timeless, so whenever you see them and it resonates, feel free to watch. If you're drawn here because of the title and you don't have it in your chart, that's fine too. This is going to be for my Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Feel free to check any other placement that you feel fits you, or that you're just interested in. Like ruler of your 7th house or North Node or Saturn or anything like that. Please also, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Getting the likes on the video really does help and push it out to other people who need to hear this message. Definitely helps with the algorithm. And of course, if you resonate, and I would love to hear about it, go ahead and leave a comment. And if you are interested in following along for my other videos and getting notified, then I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification for more. Working on my YouTube goal right now is 1,000 subscribers. So we're working towards 1,000, working towards the road to 1K, if you will. Yeah, so let's just get straight into it. See what Spirit has to say for you. I just really felt like I should get into tarot first, so I'm going to do that. When I was getting into your energy, the only thing I picked up on was I was being shown a woman putting on lipstick, just like up super close to the mirror, just like looking at herself and putting it on, and not just like putting it on like in a rush, like let me put it on and like I gotta go, but more of a like an act of self-care or self-love. It was something excuse me, something along the lines of that. And just felt a lot more like intimate, but just like with herself. I didn't really feel like she was getting ready for like a date of any kind. It just felt like putting more love into herself and into her rituals, into her day-to-day. Not sure what that means. Take it as it resonates. So let's get straight into tarot, and then we'll grab, I think I might do a card from the Priestess of Light. We'll take a look at what's going on for that. Any messages the universe wants to bring through. But all right, here we go. Ready? So, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I don't know why I just have to take this deep breath to like prepare for this. Maybe you guys are preparing for something. I feel like it's like a pranic breath, if you've ever heard of that. It's just that like sigh of release, like you're releasing energy, releasing stress, or releasing tension. Maybe you're bracing yourself for something. We'll see. Current energy. Page of Wands reversed. That's interesting, is your current energy. It's not what I would have thought. Not at all I would have thought. I feel like you guys are being quiet. That's how it feels like to me. You guys are being quiet. If you have that, like, any sort of, like, passion or feelings of, like, intense, like, self-love or love for your friends or life or whatever it is, I think that you guys are keeping it really, really quiet. Pages are about messages. Okay, so this is usually communication of some kind, because the pages were the ones to deliver messages, like literally handwritten messages to people, right? So when the wands come in combination with that, the message or wanting to speak on something is usually one of passion, if not motivation, or just, again, something fiery being communicated. But with this in reverse, I feel like it doesn't feel like you can't. Like sometimes I do feel a sense of it being like stifled, that energy. It doesn't feel like you can't or you're unable to. It feels like you won't. Like it feels like a very specific processing of either your emotions or of your passion. And I know Mars is in Cancer right now, so a lot of us are really emotionally driven at this time. But this feels like you're not speaking on something. And you have Seven of Swords too. This is kind of like what's crossing you, like maybe what your block is, your obstacle is. And usually Seven of Swords is, it can be deception, but again, it's more of a mental energy here. So I feel like whatever you're not speaking on, you're thinking about it a lot. So we're gonna have to clarify that. I want to continue. We'll come back and clarify that. But I feel like whatever it is that you're thinking about, especially if it's around motivation or excitement, like that action-oriented Mars energy, anything, although this feels more like love or sensual, sexual, intimacy, something like that. Whatever it is, again, you guys, I don't feel like are speaking on it. And it's not in a sense of feeling like you can't, it's that you don't want to. And I feel like the sense of, I have a lot going on in my mind and I cannot just express that to anybody. It's almost like, this is very almost like dreamy and ethereal. It feels very fantasy-esque, like almost like something you would read in a book. Like, I get this feeling like you guys believe that you are a lot, or you are very intense, and what you're looking for isn't common. It's not something that you just stumble upon. It's something that I think is very special. Like, you need someone to match you, and if you are, I feel like this is love related, if you are looking for that person, it feels to me as if you're like, this is a really heavy weight to hold, and that weight is literally your soul, how you feel, what you believe is beautiful in the universe. All these very magical, ethereal, like big emotions, like there's, it almost feels very Piscean, to be completely honest. But this energy is so deep. It's like, I want to know what truly gives you the most joy, what you would think about on your last days on Earth. You want to know what people are literally made out of. What certain things or emotions trigger you to do this type of action or another. You know, morally, if you had to pick between this or that, which one would you choose? If you were in the position of vigilante or some sort of Superman, Batman, whatever, like, what would your focus be? What would you want to do? Like, what type of lasting changes do you want to bring to the world? That's what that feels like to me. You want the next person to be able to handle what you're going to like dish out. Like, it's a lot, and not everyone, you're correct on that, not everyone wants to go that deep. Not everyone wants to explore that depth. A lot of these things feel like they're very taboo, and you want to trust someone with being able to hold your soul, what you are going to give them. And it feels like a yearning and a longing for this depth. It is very Piscean, very watery. You do not want small talk. You do not want superficial. You do not want, how's the weather today, as I just stated. You want the depth, and you want to offer yourself to someone, and you want their soul in return. It feels very much like a karmic contract, or a just contract between two souls. I am going to give you all of me, and in return, you give me all of you. I'm seeing the DNA strand, like how they like wrap together. It feels truly as if you guys are like, this next person, I feel like this is coming, okay? I'm not sure when it's coming. It doesn't feel like it's around the corner. It feels like sometime in the future, though. Can you hear the rain? It's so beautiful. I hope you guys can hear it. If not, I feel like the rain is important. I feel like you guys are like trying to like cleanse, right? I feel like you want to bare your soul is a better way to put it. I want to bare my soul to somebody. And I think that's why you have this energy of, I'm choosing not to express all this depth to just anybody, because you want to, the way I'm feeling it is that you want to know that when you do express these things, it is not only like just taken, but you don't want to say this to someone and have the person be like, oh, that's an interesting question. You want someone to be like, I'm so glad you asked because I think about this all the time. This is what keeps me up at night. This is what baffles me. This is what completely mystifies me. You want someone to be like, I hear your question of depth and I raise you one more. Let me ask you this one in return. You want to have those conversations where you're like, this person, you want to be mentally stimulated with them. This person has never, like, you've never had that. And if you have, it's been a long time where that's what you're missing about a partner that really gets you, that really understands you. You need soul connection where you are intertwined. It's almost as if you really do have a person carved out for you, hence the DNA. It's a like a karmic thing between you guys. And it's honestly beautiful. I couldn't agree more. I totally understand that type of energy. Ten of Swords reverse. I feel like you guys, some of you guys, this event of ending something is recent, and for others of you, the wound or the pain emotionally is still fresh. It's still something that is kind of like an open, exposed wound. So take that as it resonates. It's going to be different for each and every one of you. Ten of Swords reversed. Two of Cups reversed. Three of Cups reversed. Wow. Four of Pentacles reversed. I do feel like you guys kind of held on to some of this pain, maybe just unaware of how to process it and how to move through it in a way that was beneficial for you. But I feel like truly what you're going through is some sort of spiritual awakening. I'm not even gonna lie. It really is like a spiritual awakening here. Ten of Swords with Two of Cups in reverse. Not good. Not good. I think that you stayed in a connection that didn't feed your soul. It wasn't symbiotic. It did not reciprocate what you had put in. Kind of want to get just like a random card for that from the middle. Get a little bit more info on that. Of course, Six of Pentacles reverse. Oh my God, in the Tower. Reversed also. You guys stayed here for way too long. Oh yeah. Clarifying that, we have Six of Pentacles with the Tower reversed and Knight of Wands. In this connection, whatever this connection or this previous romantic situation was for you, there was quite an imbalance. The only way I want to word it is that you took a lot of shit from somebody. Keep in mind, it doesn't have to be romantic. Truly, it could be family. It could just be craving and longing for a deep soul bond or connection. It could just be friends. It could be anybody, okay? But a lot of times when Two of Cups comes out for me, it does usually talk about love, but it's a symbiotic relationship. What I put in, you put in, I scratch your back, you scratch mine type of thing, right? This to me is like something was incredibly unfair because this energy here is a hierarchy. There's one person handing out and deciding who gets what. So when this energy comes out reverse for me, it is gone on for too long. It's a little bit corrupt per se. It's not fair. There's just a level of one person having more. And what I feel like I want to say is one person having more control or one person having more power. There's a power struggle or a power dynamic here that's really unbalanced with this previous relationship. And the Tower in reverse says that maybe this was put off for a really long time, and I get the sense that you didn't want to look at it because you're a person that is going to view somebody's soul. When they bare their soul, you're like, I love that, I'm into that. And I think that you guys are looking at this person and looking at their potential and looking at like, I know it doesn't seem right on the outside, but my soul knows their soul, and I love them. It's almost a sense of like, I cannot describe it. There are no words that you can possibly use to describe the emotion that you feel. It's almost as if you feel you guys are fated. Because the Two of Cups, again, it's togetherness or like a counterpart. So it almost feels as though you guys were like, this is clearly unfair. This is clearly not benefiting me, but I just feel like we're fated. I feel like, again, the DNA strand, it's like I feel like my soul knows yours, and I can't describe that. Whether it's a past life or whatever it is, I feel like you guys are just like, I knew, like we were fated. And this, when the Tower comes out reverse, it's like something should have happened a while ago. It didn't. You're still stuck in it for a long time. Usually the Tower is going to talk about its sudden changes. And I'm not surprised to see the Tower come out, whether it's reversed or right side up, especially during eclipse season, because this is sudden and unpredictable changes, okay? The Tower card reverse is like, you should have done it. You should have done it a while ago. And instead, you persevered, you stuck through for some reason. I don't know why, but we all have our reasons, no judgment. But it looks like it was severely unbalanced, and the Nine of Wands is pushing through to the end. It's being, battle-worn, weary, tired, got the bandage on the head here. It's kind of like the sense of like, I've been going nonstop and I've been thinking about this, and you're like stacking them up. It's almost like tally marks, right? This happened and I made it through this, and this happened and we made it through that, and this happened and we made it through this. And I think that instead of looking at this situation as we were triumphant through this, I think it kind of gave you rose-colored glasses and skewed the perspective a little bit, where it was like, oh, like we didn't make it through that, I made it through them doing this to me, which is a lot different. You were bearing your soul and pouring out into their cup, and they were in a drought. What are you gonna do? Also, I'm sorry, the lighting is like kind of low right now. Bear with me. And then finally, I think something just clicked, and then you must have left, because again, the Tower reverse is like a long time coming. It's late, right? It's late, but the Tower's here, right? The Tower's here. So it's kind of like, it's late, but when it happens, right? Everyone's on their own time frame, everyone's on their own journey. We're grateful that the Tower is here to change your perspective, to change things up, to make a shift. And then you have Three of Cups reversed, which this to me is like understanding that someone's behavior might not be truthful. It can sometimes be like catty or like gossipy, or like it's not a good connection between people. So you might have realized that either this person was either talking to other people, or they weren't giving you all that you were like needing or all that you wanted. It can talk about a little bit of isolation, kind of like, and this could have been like you feeling them become distant. Maybe, oh, I used to text them and then they used to get back to me in X amount of time, but now it's like they barely answer my texts. So there's a lot of ways that the Three of Cups reverse can go. But I feel this sense of like an energy shift, and you starting to, once the Tower came down, you notice like a little bit being like, that's kind of weird. Oh, that's kind of weird. Oh, they haven't gotten back to me. And it's just like, it's not behavior that you want or you wanted to like tolerate or what have you. Let's take a look at the Three of Cups in reverse really quick, just to clarify. Three of Wands reverse. Oh yeah, I definitely feel like, look at that, 2 threes also. I definitely feel like you guys were in this connection being like, something's wrong. Something's just off. I don't know what it is, but something's just off. It's not the same. Three of Wands coming in is a little bit of like, wow, that was unexpected. Again, eclipse season. That was unexpected. It wasn't what I thought. It wasn't the direction I thought it was going to go. That's not what I aimed for. It's when things just go a little bit awry. And then having, Three of Cups, like I said, it could do with communication, or it could also do with this sense of like camaraderie or friendship or something like that. Something's weird. Something's weird. Then you have King of Pentacles reverse. So you could have been dealing with an earth sign, or you could have been dealing with someone who just had that energy. King of Pentacles is Taurus energy, so it could have been just like someone who presents as very stable to you, or they wouldn't do that. They're truthful. They just have this energy about them that feels very like stoic, or like it's solid for you to lean on, right? But I feel like you were like, something's weird, like the stability or something to do with pentacles, which is like material possessions and the like. Something about that's weird. Something about what you're presenting, not what you're saying, but something about what they are presenting doesn't necessarily add up. Something about it. It's almost like what you're seeing is not the reality, okay? A little bit of like a deception or illusion. And then we have 4 of Pentacles reversed, which is like learning to kind of surrender and release what's not working for you anymore. Learning to release whatever your reasoning was that kept you rooted in the situation, in the relationship. You were learning to release that and let go. It's kind of like, okay, I was holding on to this reasoning because they did this for me and they were this for me and they provided that for me, XYZ. But then I see you guys kind of being like, oh, that's actually not what it was. It had a different benefit. It had a different like tinge of another emotion to it that wasn't truthful. It wasn't what I wanted. Yeah, oh man, look at that. 5 of Pentacles reversed coming out here, and 10 of Pentacles. This is you guys realizing that you're gonna have to let something go. You're gonna have to wrap something up. That's that 10 of Pentacles. You're kind of like surrendering to this. You put a lot of energy into it, a lot of time. 10 of Pentacles is like, it's a home, it's a marriage, it is a strong committed relationship. It's where all your ducks in a row here with the 10 of Pentacles. So when I see that alongside this 5 of Pentacles reverse, it's like, oh, this wasn't what it looked like on the outside. Or even I'm getting this sense that if people thought which it doesn't matter what people think, but if people in your close circle or just anybody on the outside looked at it, it would look really nice, but on the inside it wasn't reflected like that. Like there were just things wrong underneath. And I think, yeah, look at this, 5 of Cups reversed with Page of Cups. I feel like you guys definitely went back and forth, upset about how, you know, we're gonna deal with these emotions, not wanting to kind of let go, focusing on the past. It used to be like this. Why can't we get back to that point? And keep in mind, all the things I talk about could be the other person. It could be vice versa. But this is really like, I can't get over this past thing. It's a struggle to emotionally to cope with the situation. How do I process these emotions? How do I begin to deal with this? So with the Page of Cups coming out, it definitely gives me a sense of someone tried. Like it could have been you, it could have been the other person, take it as it resonates, but it really feels like someone was like, I'm gonna try one more time, and someone gave it, you know, good old college try, so to speak. But this is not enough. The Page of Cups can sometimes also be like emotional immaturity. That's not enough. Yeah, no. I feel like this Page of Cups is almost like the other person. Like you tell them, the story that I'm kind of feeling is that you express to them what's going on, okay? You say, this is what's up with me. I'm having a really hard time coping with this. I'm having a really hard time dealing with how it is when I miss how it used to be. And beyond that, you're focusing on this. And now that I'm seeing the rest of the cards, it feels a little bit more like a reminiscing. This is what it used to look like. This is how our family used to be. This is how in the beginning it was like this and it was like that and it was so great, and it was just like, here's all these wonderful ways in which our relationship really shined brightly and fulfilled me emotionally. And then I feel like that person was like, I'll fix it, let me work on that, let me try this, let me try that, let me do this. Hence the Page of Cups, because Page of Cups can sometimes be an apology. It's minimal effort, but it is effort, and I feel like you wanted to honor that. But no matter what you did, you're sitting here completely disappointed, because whether this is reversed or it's upright, you are showing up as the Empress. This is the divine feminine, the mother. And this here is, I gave so much of me to you because you wanted that soul bond. The Empress is so giving and so nurturing. Sometimes when it does come in reverse, it can be giving too much to others. Like I said, we're lacking reciprocity. I'm giving way too much to another person. And I feel like that's what this is when this person came up to you and was like, hey, let's work on this. Let's talk about this. How can I fix this? I genuinely feel like you were like, it's too late for that. And I gotta say it again too, energy's fluid. It could be past, present, future energy. Take it as it resonates. But you guys are beyond that. And you were already ready to like move on. Yeah, Knight of Swords here. The Emperor in reverse. No. It's almost like you guys were those strands of DNA in the beginning, but now you're seeing that you were giving way too much here. And this person, you know, showing up as the Emperor in reverse, this is divine feminine and masculine. So you guys very well could have been counterparts. But it's almost like the Empress is giving way too much here, not putting back into herself. And the Emperor is like, I'm not wrong. You're the one that's wrong. My way or the highway. Very stoic, very much. I'm doing it the way that I want. Stubborn. Very stubborn. This, like, I feel like the energy soured really quick in this connection. And Knight of Swords is fighting between the two. It falls smack dab in the middle of the two. Let me, hold on. This is what it looks like to me. So you have Empress in reverse, very poor communication with this Knight of Swords, and then you have the Emperor. So it's like, someone tried, they clearly tried, but at that point, it turned into arguments, it turned into you don't understand me, it turned into you don't reciprocate, it turned into why don't you hear me, why aren't you there for me, why can't you do this, why can't you do that, and then I feel like you guys were just at each other's throats. So even if this was a divine counterpart, even if this was originally a Two of Cups situation, a lot had transpired. And I feel like I have to tell you guys, and I know this was really kind of solemn and like unexpected, but I do feel like I have to tell you guys that you did everything that you could have in the situation. You really did. And now looking back on the original cards of like not wanting to speak on certain things because you need a specific type of person to hold that energy, to hold that space for you because you energetically take up so much space, you did what you could. You know, between you and the other person involved, each of you did what they were capable of, what they could. It is what it is. Even though it could have started as this Two of Cups reverse, it turned sour. And sometimes the people that we have these soul connections with don't always work out. Yes, there's like karmics, and then there's counterparts or twin flames and soulmates and this and that. Really, at the end of the day, you have soul family to some degree. So no matter which way you spin it, there's definitely a connection between you and this person that's really deep. And I think that no matter how much you guys may have fought at the end, didn't get along at the end, maybe we're at each other's throats, the communication was a bit chaotic, just like brash, very like blunt. I just feel like it just went downhill really fast. Once the realizations were made that like, oh, I'm suffering in this, like I'm not doing well, I'm unhappy, I'm not fulfilled. I feel like once that was realized, it just went down. And even though there's the perseverance, you did what you could, right? With perseverance, you literally did what you could. And that's great. Both parties, I think, did what they were capable of in this connection. And I think that at the end of the day, like, there will always be some sort of like kind of love or appreciation for the connection and what it taught each of you. But just that where you guys are at right now, not gonna work. And maybe that's it. And you guys will never cross paths again. But I think it's worth looking at what was learned. What were the lessons in here? What did you learn from them, and what did they learn from you, and kind of putting a positive spin on it in the end, no matter, you know, how negative or just unpleasant the ending might have been. So on that note, let me pull an oracle card. Again, sorry the lighting's like really low. I'm by the window and it's, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna pull an oracle card because I said that we would do that. And that's gonna be kind of like our message from spirit, some advice from the universe. I think I'm gonna focus it, set the intentions on what did you get out of this? What is the lesson? Alright, let's get some energy here for my Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising Spirit. What you got for me? Need some guidance or some advice. Need some advice. It's like, you can send me 1111 all you want, Spirit, but like, could you be a little more clear? Alright, one more. Okay, ready? Summoning power, instinct, intellect, and control. Number 4. I'm really feeling like the 4s are popping up a lot for me lately. I don't know about you guys, but maybe you're seeing 4s a lot. Let's read it, okay? Let's read this bad boy. But definitely, you know, calling your power back for sure, especially with summoning power. And I feel a lot of you getting back to that like divine feminine instinct and intuition there. Especially just because we get the full moon behind her, and the wolves for me are kind of like your animal like instincts. It's connecting deeply, kind of like what we talked about in the reading. This priestess of the night is summoning the power of the full moon and channeling it to the wild wolves beside her. Let me see if I can hold this up and read at the same time. She is calm and in control. The wolves stand at attention with the energy of quiet strength resonating from above. This card is telling you that you have far more power than you realize. There may be something in your life, perhaps a relationship or a recent challenge that you have felt powerless to handle. If so, it's time to focus your own intellect and instinct on the issue at hand. Then muster the courage to take the necessary action. It may also be time to harness the unhealthy personal patterns that you have left unchecked. Indulgences and addictions might seem to have had the upper hand, but your wild impulses can absolutely be tamed. Remain peaceful but persistent in this noble pursuit of self-honoring and self-control. Be honest about your ability to prioritize your higher needs. Again, that soul connection. When you summon the quiet yet powerful light of your soul, your intuitive strength becomes a central force in your own life and a resonant voice in the world. I love that. Underneath, you also have this card that says personal power. Look at all the power messages. I love that. All right, my lovely Cancerians, I hope that this made sense for you guys. Hope it resonated. Hope it gave you something to think about and that you enjoyed your time here. Like I said, if you did resonate, go ahead and hit the like button for me. It helps me out greatly, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And also, if you want to hang around for my other videos, hang out with me, see what comes up, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell notification for more. I'll see you later. Bye.